Okay, so let's go to therapy. So this episode is the first episode under the rebrand. Talks with Ken, unpacking life situations together. And I am so excited to finally start this podcast and to finally get out of my head about what I was doing, what I could be doing wrong and things like that. And I'm just gonna do it. Like Nike said, just do it. So here we are. I am Kennedy. So yeah. So I am she is me, and we're about to unpack me going to therapy. So I haven't actually gone yet. I think I'm going to talk about, or what I want to talk about is the process of me starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping. Because baby, listen, it's too much. So let's get into it. So I will say that I started the process in 2021. I started the process of me going to therapy, like actually reaching out to therapists. I actually talked to one on the phone for at least maybe 15 minutes. I talked to one on the phone. And it was a good conversation, and I just never went through with the appointment. She understood where I was coming from. At the time I was very overwhelmed. And I know for me, when I get overwhelmed, I get super emotional. And what I mean by when I get overwhelmed in my thoughts. It's just so much running through it's not even bad things running through my mind. It's just things running through my mind where I'm just like, girl, you going in overload and you need to calm down. You got to slow down. I just feel like I always have to be on go. I always have to be doing something. I always have to be moving around. I always have to have something in motion. I always have to be here, there, and everywhere, right? That's just how I am. That's how that's how I've been since I've been a mom. There is no stopping. You have to keep going. I know one of the reasons why I want to go to therapy is because I want to be able to control my emotions better than what I have been. Because I will say in 2023, from February of 2023 up until October or November of 2023, I was at my lowest mentally. When I say I was at my lowest, I was at my lowest. That was the most mentally challenging, mentally draining, mentally exhausting year I have ever had. That, I believe, was worse than after I gave birth. And me dealing with all the things that I had to deal with when it came to my child's father after I gave birth. I don't even think that compares to the year I had in 2023, if I'm being completely honest with you. I will say the decline of my mental health started probably in 2022, but I think it came to a head in 2023, if I'm being completely honest. I do remember in 2020 and 2021, I was gaining weight to the point where my mom was like, girl, are you pregnant? Because that's how much weight I gained. I will say COVID period, I think it stressed everybody out. But that was the start of me having really bad anxiety, being really anxious. It was the start of so many things for me where I felt overwhelmed. And I think too, during that time, as far as dating wise, I don't think I should have been dating during that time at all. I feel like I should have been trying to work on myself. I feel like I should have been alone. I definitely feel like I should never have been dating during that time. Because one, I wasn't even the best version for me, let alone the best version for my kids. So how was I going to throw dating into the mix of being the best version for somebody else if I wasn't even the best version for myself? And then two, I do realize that during that time with me dating, I dealt with some characters. So during that time, me dating should not have been even an option, if I'm being completely honest with you. I've dealt with, just the ups and downs of dating in itself and trying to figure myself out. And then also having to, deal with somebody else's emotions and feelings and all of that. So it was just a lot. It was, baby, it was a lot. And I had no business doing it. I had no business doing it. So, I mean, there's that. But I do think that now I am ready for it, only because I think I'm ready to just face what I need to face when it comes to past traumas, triggers, and things that I just feel like I genuinely need to work on. I do know, like, for me, the top thing, like I said, is me gaining emotional control and me being able to, you know, control how I feel. Well, not necessarily control how I feel, because I'm allowed to feel how I feel. I want to be able to control how I respond to how I feel. So, like, if something upsets me and it pisses me off, I want to be able to control what's said out of my mouth. Granted, we should always have self-control regardless of what somebody does to us. But me, I was on a warpath. Like, in 2023, the way my mouth was so lethal, honey, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't get me to stop nothing. Like, I was so, like, I'm naturally aggressive anyway. But, like, if you knew me a year ago, you would like, yo, why is she so angry? Like, why is she so hostile? Why is she so aggressive? And it's just, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot. So I'm proud of myself for actually taking the step and actually, you know, booking the appointment. So it is Monday, September 9th. And it is 12:42 p.m. My appointment is Friday, September 13th at 10 a.m. And I'm excited because although I don't know what to expect when it comes to therapy, I'm excited to start the process. I'm excited to, you know, reveal revelations that needed to be revealed to myself. I think another goal of mine is to, you know, see what dating looks like for me, and if I should date, or even if I'm ready to date. Because I know for me, when it comes to dating, I stay in situations way longer than I should. And part of that is my Captain Save-A-Hole part of my personality. And then a part of that is just I care too much and I want to play Mrs. Fix-It. And you can't fix everybody, because everybody don't want to be fixed. Everybody don't want to be saved. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink. So although you may be the person that is helping them realize something, that doesn't mean they want to necessarily do the work. And I know for me, the reason I want to do therapy, another reason I want to do therapy, I should say, is because I'm tired of being in that woe is me mindset. Oh my God, this is happening to me. Why? Oh my God, this happened to me. Why? And it's just like, you have control over your own life and how you want it to go. And honestly, I think everybody would benefit from therapy, because we all have traumas that we've been through, some worse than others. Mine aren't that bad, but they're still traumas. I still think, I feel like, you know, when you get the necessary help and you get the necessary, you know, encouragement from a therapist to work better, and when you choose to yourself seek to want better, you put yourself in a position to, you know, thrive. And I want to thrive as a mom, for sure. I want to thrive as a human being. I want to thrive as, you know, a potential wife for somebody. And I can't do that if I'm not my best self. I feel like I can't be a good mom if I'm not my best self. Not saying I'm not a good mom, because I'm a damn good mother. My son is very taken care of. My son is very happy, very playful, very silly, very affectionate. But I want to be better. Because if I can't control my emotions and how I feel, and I lash out when I get upset, he watches me. I'm his mom. I am the person he sees every day. he deals with and comes in contact with every day, if he sees his mom acting the damn fool because she mad, he's gonna act the damn fool because he's mad. I don't want my son to grow up in an unhealthy, I don't want him to grow up and then have an unhealthy relationship because he saw his mother lash out, so now he thinks it's okay to lash out. Now, granted, he's a boy, and I can't teach him everything that he needs to know as a man because I'm not a man. But the things that I can teach him and the lessons that he can learn from me, I would like for him to be taught those lessons and things like that. So I just feel like it's gonna be a good journey, and I'm excited for it. I'm happy for it, and it's been a long time coming, honey. A long time coming. Because like I said, I started the process in 2021. I didn't go through with it. And then from 2022 to 2023 is when my mental health came to a complete head, like exploded. And I get to this new job in October of 2023, working overnights, and I'm bringing the past trauma of my old job to this new job, and it's just like, I had to realize, I'm like, these damn people ain't doing nothing to you. So you don't have to respond in a hostile way. You don't have to have your fight or flight, be up in arms. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, Now, granted, I live in Chicago. I'm going to have a guard up regardless anytime I go out. But, like, you don't have to have a guard up at work. You don't have to have like this suited up, booted up armor at work. Do you need a guard at work? Yes. Because at the end of the day, people are people and we are all imperfect and we are human and we're going to either make mistakes or we're going to do something intentionally. But at the end of the day, we're still human. Like, we're not perfect. So do you need an armor or a guard? Yes. But should it be like tenfold? Depending on the type of job you have. Okay? And for me, the type of job I have does not require me to have that type of armor. Like, I can choose to talk to people and I can choose not. And I do talk to a good amount of people. And from my understanding, I give good advice. Okay? That is the advice that I give. I give good advice. And that's cool and all, but I feel like I don't take my own advice. And a big reason why I want to also go to therapy, or what made me even just book the appointment, was I see myself and a lot of the people that I talk to. Yeah, I've given advice and it's been good advice and they've taken the advice and it's actually worked out for them. But when I get done talking to them, I always think like, damn, was I like this when I was going to my friends and telling them situations, and was this what they were thinking about me, or whatever the case may be? Or, was I this stubborn? Was I this hard-headed and not listening? Like, was I all of these things? Like, that plays in the back of my mind, and it's just like, girl, go to therapy. I want to unpack, like, for me, I know the main thing, like the things that I want to touch on: childhood traumas. I want to touch on the lack or the non-existent relationship I have with my father and how that made me feel as a kid and how it makes me feel as an adult. I want to talk about the lack of closeness or the lack of relationship I have with my siblings. Because there's me and my younger sister from my mom, and then there's my older sister and my older brother from my dad when he had his first, child's mother. And we did not grow up together. We did not, we saw each other when we were younger, but we don't have a relationship. Like, if I were to get married next year, my older sister probably would not be my bridesmaid. Because, that's how that's how much of a non-existent relationship we have. And it's not that it's no beef, it's just, there's a 6-year age gap between me and my older sister. And there's a 3-year age gap between me and my other brother. And then there's a 3-year age gap between my younger sister. So we're all 3 years apart. And they grew up differently than we did. I don't know their struggles. They don't know my struggles. I don't know their traumas. They don't know my traumas. But what I do know is I would like to at least build a relationship. And I don't know how to start that up. Like, granted, yes, it could be sending a text, sending a phone call. Like, me and my older sister, we send texts here and there. We chat here and there, but there's no relationship there. Like, she's 6 years older than me. I'm 29 years old. She's 6 years older than me. Like, she's married. She got 2 kids. Like, she had a whole life before I came along. And I'm not saying I feel like I would disrupt that, but it's just like we need to get, I don't know what's holding me back with those relationships at all. Like, and me and my brother, we used to talk all the time. Now that talking is non-existent. Me and my sister, we have a relationship, but it's not like me and my younger sister anyway, it's not like a sisterly bond. Like, we're sisters, yeah, and my son loves his aunt to death, but we don't shit. Like when normal families be like, oh, I'm going to hang out with my cousins, or I'm going this way with my sister, it's not baffling to me or strange to me, but it's just like, I don't have that. I don't hang out with my family. We don't go kick it. We don't go to the movies together. We don't go out. Like, I don't have that. I'm not used to that. We grew up together, yes, me and my younger sister, but the relationship we have, you would think that we are strangers. Like, she would not be my emergency contact. And I want to understand or try to cultivate a relationship with her as well. And I feel like on my end, I need to probably work on trying to do that so that she's more open to that as well. I don't know. Like, we ain't beefing, we talk. We just don't tell each other our business. That's all. And I want to be able to, so like, I want to be able to explore that. I want to be able to explore, like I said, what I should date. I want to be able to explore, like, how I can be a better mom. Because I lacked patience. I greatly lack patience. And I've been this way my entire adult life, where I lack patience, and I don't want to lack patience because I have a son, and to have kids, you have to have patience. And I think the older I get, the less patience that I have, but I don't think that's because of my kid. I think that's because of the outside people. But I don't want to put that off on my kid. I don't want him to grow up and be like, well, my mama did blah, blah. Like, I don't want him to grow up and feel like my mama fucked me up, so now I need to go to therapy. Or maybe I'm not going to go to therapy. I'm just going to be a fucked up individual to a bunch of women or a bunch of people because my mama fucked me up. I don't want that. I don't want him to grow up like that. And also another thing I want to address in therapy is, like, my fear of things. I was very sheltered growing up. I feel like my mom did the best she could with what she had. She was a single parent, and she raised us to the best of her ability, because there is no handbook on parenting. She raised us the best way she thought, or she saw fit. And I don't blame her for that, but me being sheltered as a kid definitely hindered me, I will say, in my adult life, because it made me fearful to do things. It made me fearful to step out of the box. And it made me have this, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just made me go into a shell, in a sense, when it came to, like, exploring life and doing things. Like, a lot of things or a lot of experiences that I hear, like, my friends or people I've talked to have, some of them experiences is crazy, but most of those experiences, like, learning experiences. And I feel like I didn't get my learning experiences until I was like 18 or older. And I feel like some of those experiences that I should have had should have kind of happened younger, or whatever the case may be, in a sense, because, like, it's my life to make the mistakes. Now, granted, obviously, if I'm making a major mistake, don't let me make a major mistake. But, like, some things you got to live and learn. And I feel like I didn't live or learn those mistakes until I got older. And I think that sometimes as I've gotten older, I've made ginormous mistakes. And it's just like, girl, what you got going on? So there's that. But I will say this. Me going to therapy and me talking about, like, childhood traumas, relationship traumas, adult traumas, work traumas, I think that it'll be a good thing. I could leave that office one day crying. I could leave that crying sad tears one day. I can leave that office crying happy tears another. You know what I'm saying? Or I can walk out sad one day and then I can walk out happy another day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about growth and it's all about the revelation of yourself and coming into yourself. And I just feel like I am ready for the next chapter. I'm about to be 30 years old. And at first I was like, I'm going to start therapy in January of 2025 and I'm going to start it. And then I had to think about it like, why are you starting it in the new year? Why not already be in the process in the new year of working on yourself? So that way, as you continue to work on yourself and you encounter new people, you can put what you're learning to practice instead of waiting. And then furthermore being, I guess you could say, unlevel-headed or toxic. Why not just put it into practice now? Why not try now? The fourth quarter of 2024, this is the fourth quarter. Put it into play. Put it into practice. So that I am proud of myself for taking that step. And I am proud of myself for, making the appointment and not just talking. I know I find myself a lot of times I find myself saying, this is what I want to do and I want to do it. And I have the idea in my head and I have the idea of how to execute it in my head. And I doubt myself. And I think that's part of my upbringing because I was so sheltered or because, I genuinely cared like what my mom thought about what I did and how I did it, that it hinders me in a way. Because it's like, I am an adult. I'm almost 30 years old and I'm still worried about what my mom will think if I make this decision. At the end of the day, I'm an adult. It's my decision to make. And I will say between the two, me and my younger sister is the one that don't give not a damn. She don't give a hot damn. Okay? And what I mean by that is she's going to make her decision. She don't give a damn about what you think about it. Me, on the other hand, I hesitate because it's like, okay, what she gonna think or what they gonna think about this and that. And it's just like, I want that not give a damn spirit. Now, when it comes to certain things, no, I don't give a damn. But like majority of things, I definitely care and I give a damn. Even in my day-to-day life, like I'll have an idea and I'll go to 30 different people and ask their opinion on it. And it's just like, girl, why do it matter? Like, they're not you. This is what you want to do. They're not doing it. So why does their opinion matter? Even if they may not like it, 50 other people might, just because these 30 people don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's another thing I also want to address in therapy is me feeling like I have to be, I'm not going to say accepted, but like, why do I give other people's opinions of what I do and who I am any traction? So yeah, I think that's what I'm excited for. So I don't know how I'm going to disperse out these episodes. Obviously, this is the first episode under the rebrand, and I'm very happy about it. And I'm excited to see like the evolution of me and like my progress. So this podcast is mainly about like obviously me going to therapy, but also different life situations and different things that I've, see on a day-to-day life, or things that I want to talk about, or things that I want to do, or whatever the case may be. So yeah. So I think I'm going to post episodes every Sunday at 12 p.m. I think that is the goal. Every Sunday that it's a new week. I don't know when my therapy date will be set in stone. It's just my first session is this Friday. So yeah. And I'm excited for it. And then when I record the next episode, I'll let you guys know how it went. And based off how that therapy session went, it will be the basis of the topic. And I'm winging all of this. So like I said, we unpacking life situations together. And we're winging it. We're winging it. We're winging life. We unpacking life situations and we're winging it. And that's okay because there is also no playbook to life. So yeah. So I do want to thank you all for watching if you're watching this on YouTube. And I do thank you all for listening if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever you listen to podcasts on. I appreciate you dearly. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode where we unpack our first therapy session. One of the most important steps in therapy is helping people take responsibility for their current predicaments. Because once they realize that they can and must construct their own lives, they're free to generate change. Often, though, people carry around the belief that the majority of their problems are circumstantial or situational, which is to say, external. Sometimes we are the cause of our difficulties.